Hello, welcome back to the channel, and we are doing Chromatic Cube Draft, so that's always fun when this comes back on Magic Arena. So it's kind of like the regular Arena Draft, or Arena Cube Draft, except it incentivizes a little bit more splashy, bombastic, big color things, so you have a little bit less access to cheap removal and like really premium cheap threats. It's more so like, oh, play a bunch of mana dorks and color fixing, and then play Golos or Primeval Titan or Atraxa or I don't know, stuff like that. So yeah, it incentivizes a lot of nonsense. I think it's a lot of fun. And yeah, we'll be back for the first pick. All right, here for our pack one, pick one. Let's see what we've got. We got a lot of choices. We've got, there's a lot of cards here. What is this? Primeval Herald. 4 mana, 3/1 trample. When it enters or attacks, you could search your library for a basic land, put on the battlefield, tapped, and then shuffle. Okay, I don't like the stat line there. There's Villainous Wealth, which is a really fun one to ramp into, and you can just exile all of your opponent's best cards and play them immediately. We have Ravenous Chupacabra as a decent removal spell, which is a little hard to come by. And then Vraska's an alright planeswalker. There's Fecund Greenshell. There's Bloom Tender. A lot of options here. I'm tempted by the Villainous Wealth for sure. There's also Solemn Simulacrum, which is probably always just fine. Cyclonic Rift can also do some stuff. I'm looking at either Villainous Wealth or Jetmir's Garden. So this is kind of the interesting point. It's like, do you take the good fixing now, or do you take the good card which will make your fixing but this is very interesting. I think I am going to lean towards taking the Jetmir's Garden first and then seeing what is open and going from there, and then this gives me a good start. Okay, now I could just honestly take another Triome, and then we're like touching 4 colors very easily, and you're also base green, which is kind of where you want to be. Other than that, Selvala is a good ramp piece. Nissa can turn in, gets you a land, draws you a card basically, and then turns into a nice planeswalker. We have Bloodchief's Thirst as cheap removal, as well as Wild Slash. There's a couple good black cards, but Jetmir's Garden doesn't go well with that. Angelic Destiny is an interesting one. So it's an aura, and then it makes it flying first strike, +4/+4, and an angel. And then when the enchanted creature dies, this thing returns to your hand. So that's a possibility. I think it's between the Spar's Headquarters and the Selvala, because the Selvala can really help you to enable some big splashy nonsense. Because you just add, like by itself, it's a 3 mana 2/3 that like adds 2 mana in any combination of colors for a single mana as a mana dork, but then it just gets so much better. I'm gonna take the Spar's Headquarters though. We're just gonna have all the fixing, and now we can probably start to take real cards. So we have a couple of choices. We could take right. Our lands do not touch black, so Atris and Terra Sunder are a little weird, and Valky. I could take Bramble Familiar. It's just a 2 mana 2/2 mana dork, which is okay. You could also take like Trapped in the Screen as a decent removal spell. I like Terra Sunder quite a bit because there are a lot of instants in artifacts and enchantments like Trapped in the Screen or whatever that you want to exile. So I'm definitely a little bit torn here between Bramble Familiar, Terra Sunder, and Trapped in the Screen. So I feel like given where we're starting here, I feel like there's a lot better mana dorks than Bramble Familiar. I mean, this also gives you something to do in the late game, which I guess. I'm going to take... Let's take the Bramble Familiar. Why not? Let's take the Bramble Familiar. All right, now what do we got? We can take another Triome. I don't think we want to do that. I think here the choice is between Surak and Vivian, if we want to stay in green, which I do think we want to do. There's also Maelstrom Pulse, which is a nice card to just blow up anything pretty much. And also if there's a token strategy they're doing, like what if they have a bunch of Homunculus Hordes? You just like kill them all with one card. Resourceful Collector is actually kind of nuts, though. So it's a 3-mana 3/3 with haste, and at the beginning of your end step, a random non-food permanent card in your graveyard becomes a food perpetually, and you can play it for as long as it's in your graveyard. So it's just dig stuff out of your graveyard, buffs your life total. It's a nice threat. You know what? I think I'm actually going to take the Resourceful Collector, and then we're going to see if we can wheel, I don't know, the Surak, Vivian. I also like Pull of the Mistmoon, but yeah, let's take the little raccoon guy. Okay, now what? Now what? So there's a doubling season, which is fun, but we're not really taking advantage of that. You could also take like a Remand or Dragonlord Ojutai. Could we potentially storm into a Stormscale Scion? I don't really know. I might just want to take a Sunbillow Verge to help with some sort of white splash. Dragonlord Ojutai is also okay. I think I'm just going to go ahead and shore up this like 4-color fixing, and then any white cards that come we can kind of just take now. So what do we got? We could take Cash Out, for instance, or sorry, Cash Out, Cast Out. So Cast Out could work. There's also Frost Titan and a couple of lands which don't really help me. I kind of like Burn Down the House too, just as plays a couple roles. You can either blow up the entire board or just apply some pressure with the Devils. I think that might actually be the pick. I do like Cast Out and these kind of effects, but there are a lot of these in the cube, and at least with Burn Down the House you get access to like some sort of a board wipe, so I think we'll go ahead and take that. Okay, now, well, if we're gonna go red-green, then I can see taking Twin Flame Tyrant here in order to just deal a ton of damage out of nowhere. And if we, you know, with the Burn Down the House, so if Sorcery Control would deal damage, yeah, so with this, Burn Down the House becomes a deal 10 to each creature and each planeswalker, which I guess is kind of interesting. But then also the Devils attack for 2, and then this thing attached for 6. I mean, I think Twin Flame Tyrant is pretty sweet here, honestly. We definitely need some more ramp. So I am glad I took that Bramble Familiar. What else we got? Double Vision. That seems pretty splashy. When you cast your first instant sorcery, you double it, but I don't know, Twin Flame Tyrant. It seems pretty cool. Alright, now I can just take a nice solid removal spell with Mizium Mortars. I do like the Mirari's Wake. This card kind of just enables you to do stupid broken things, but we already have a couple of 5-drops, so I feel like we don't have to go quite as big, and instead we can go maybe a little bit more mid-rangey and just like kill their stuff, and then play a Burn Down the House and a Twin Flame Tyrant and just kill them, get some resource collector value. I do think Mirari's Wake is kind of broken though, but let's take the Mizium Mortars, because again, there's not much cheap removal. All right, wow, we wield the Villainous Wealth. Okay, I think we can take. I do like these cards. I feel like the Fecund Green Shell, Fecund Green Shell, is going to work out well here. We already have. Well, we only have the Twin Flame Tyrant that works with it, but it is just like a big body that draws a card, essentially. Or, maybe it is Collective Defiance. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the Collective Defiance instead. Just because it's, again, interacting with the opponent is at a bit of a premium, for sure. It doesn't just come for free. And then this has a lot of different modes. Good planeswalkers, good creatures. You can just kill them outright. Here, I think we'll take Captain Lannery Storm. Kind of does everything we want. It applies pressure and then also ramps us. And then there's also Byway Barterer. So whenever you spend 4 mana in a turn, you get to do this thing. I think the Lannery Storm is going to be a little bit better for us. Ooh, Red Cap Gutter Dweller. That seems perfect for the deck. Just a 4 mana 3/3 menace, but you make 2 bodies, and then when at your upkeep you can sack any other creature and put a counter on this and like impulse draw a card. Very strong. Also is menace. I don't know if I said that, but it does. Okay. So good cards, but nothing really for us. These lands don't really help to cast Maelstrom Pulse, but I mean we're gonna take it anyway. Maybe we're Jund. Ooh, I like Jund. But right now the colors are not really helping us. Well, I guess now we'll take a Stormscale Scion. I mean, we do have a Twin Flame Tyrant. This may not make the deck, but it could. It's possible. Okay, I don't think we're going to get much here. Ooh, Alesha, who laughs at fate. Last pick. So maybe we are supposed to be Jund. Maybe we can like try to find some fixing for black. But I know we already passed a fair bit, so that's a little unfortunate. All right, now we have some choices. We have, I like Titan of Industry, just a big, stupid, dumb thing that does a lot of stuff. We have Karn, a little mid-rangey planeswalker. I think I'm going to take Roxanne, though. So Roxanne, it makes more, it fixes your mana, deals damage, good threat, is cat. So all of this is good. It has that all going for it. I do think Karn would be solid. I also do think Titan of Industry would be good. If this was a pack 1 pick 1 situation, I would be tempted by Sublime Epiphany or Uro or Snowborn Simulacra. I think those cards are very strong. But given where we're at, I think we're just going to go ahead and take the Roxanne. Okay, now what? I feel like I'm just supposed to take the Tender Wild Guide here to have a little bit more ramp. You could also take the Captivating Crossroads. It's just kind of a decent fixing land, but I think the fact that we're going to have so many chunky 4 and 5 drops means that we want to have a little bit more mana acceleration. And left unchecked, this thing can just become a threat all its own. So I like that. All right, now what do we got? We've got, ooh, Llanowar Visionary seems excellent for the deck. Very strong. We also have a Restless Cottage for black fixing. We have a Dragon Master Outcast, which we're not really ramping, quote unquote, as far as putting lands onto the battlefield, but I could see that being a thing. Like this 1 mana 1/1 just starts making a bunch of 5/5s, which is pretty cool. Nissa's a decent planeswalker, and then I like the Draconautics Engineer too, but I think with this kind of deck, skipping from like 3 to 5 is going to be important, and Llanowar Visionary does allow us to do that. Also draws a card. Okay, so now good choices here. We've got Rada, Escape to the Wilds, Siege Gang Commander, which I think are all pretty good. We're probably not going to be black. We might just be straight red-green, to be honest, which I'm okay with. So Escape is great. Rada's also great. Escape helps us more so in getting a lot of card advantage, but Rada also gives you card advantage, and it's a, yeah, you know what, I'm talking myself into it. Take the 3-drop, wheel one of the 5-drops, I think is going to be the strat here. Also, you could wheel a Ghost Vacuum, a big suck, and then you could put that in the sideboard, and then you can use that against your Reanimator opponent. I don't know. It's probably good. Okay. All right. So there's an Inferno Titan, but there's also a red-green pathway, which I think I just kind of have to take at this point. There's also Bonnie Paul, which is just kind of a ridiculous Magic card, but the double blue is going to be a little bit tricky. We don't really have the fixing necessarily to play that, so I think we got to be a little bit more responsible and take the red-green pathway here. Enduring Vitality can also be good. Maybe we can wheel that. We'll see. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take that right now. All right. So now we get a couple options. We could take Perforos as a way to just burn out the opponent. And we are making quite a lot of creatures with creature tokens. So imagine you play Perforos and then you play Burn Down the House and then you make 3 bodies and you smack them for 6. And then with the Perforos, and then you smack them with the 1/1s. I'm talking myself into it. There's also like Neheb. I feel like this is always like that card in Arena Cube that is just like, oh, that seems good. And then you like never play it. And then Atsushi seems also like solid, not bad. But yeah, I'm talking myself into that Perforos. I think we're trying to go for like a big token-y strategy, which I don't know. I think that seems very doable and very cool. So now we have the choice here between Herd Heirloom, and Timeless Witness. Herd Heirloom does allow me to cast my creatures ahead of schedule, but the Timeless Witness can just rebuy anything. What Lily? I think I'm going to take the Herd Heirloom here in this particular deck. Whoa. I mean, there's a Rockfall Veil. I know. But Railway Brawler just seems so good here. Just a 5-mana 5/5, and then whenever another creature enters, you put you basically double its power. You can also do it on turn 4 and then play it for free on turn 5. That's pretty good. Like, we could just be red-green and maybe have some bad fixing, but then we're just playing big chonkers. I'm okay with it. Okay, we wheeled Karn, which I think is good, so we're going to go ahead and take that. You could also take a black-red Verge, but I don't really see the need. Alesha and Maelstrom Pulse are fine, but... Oh, I guess I can play Jetmir's Garden. It's a red-green lane. But I don't think it's really necessary. I think we have quite enough stuff to do. So here, there is an Explore, but I think Professional Facebreaker is going to work out well. We have some cheap-ish creatures. We have a lot of creature tokens, so it'll be really easy to hit our opponent in the face, which then allows us to make more treasures and play more stuff. So yeah, I'm going to take the Facebreaker here. Okay. This seems like a great deck for Draconautics Engineer. Not so much for the Dragon Master Outcast. I mean, like, you can get to the late game for sure, obviously, but it's not necessary. Draconautics gives us lots of stuff to do at every point of the curve. We wield the Escape to the Wilds. That's looking pretty good. We wield the Bonnie Paul. I do want to play this card. If I just get a bunch of free fixing, I would like to play this. What is Annie Joins up to? 5 damage. I'm going to take the Atsushi. And a Seraphic Steed last pick. All right, let us see what is in our last pack. So, wait, didn't we see this? Oh, no, we saw the other one. I forgot what it's called. I don't know. Alchemy Lands. They exist. I think that's probably what I'm going to take here, to be honest, because I don't really see... Like, I could take a Ornithopter Paradise just to have another cheap ramp, but we're not trying to get to, say, 6 or 7 mana necessarily. We're trying to get to like 4 and 5. So it would be nice to skip from 2 to 4, but right now I think it's a little bit more important to get another quote unquote dual land here, because we're definitely lacking in that. Okay, so I think here we're just going to take Kogla and Yadaro. It's a 6-drop, so it doesn't clog up on the 5s. And, I mean, this is either a 6-mana 7/7 Trample Haste, or it fights something, and also it has the hidden mode. It's not hidden, but it's actually right there on the card. But you can pay 4 mana and discard it and destroy an artifact or an enchantment. And then you shuffle it, and it cycles, basically, but it puts itself into the deck, so you could draw it later. Yeah, so again, more stuff where you can do more on the curve than just its mana cost is pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead and take that here. Okay, now this is an interesting spot. So we could take Nantuko Silencer in order to like have that rebuy effect. We could take Overlord of the Hauntwoods to help ramp ourselves. You could also take Itali just as like a big chonker, and it's very, very powerful. Galta also could work, because if you're going to have a lot, but the double green is going to be a little tricky, and I don't know if it's quite necessary, although it would be funny to play it after a Railway Brawler. I think I'm going to take Itali here, just go like a little bit bigger maybe than I was originally anticipating, but we're only 2 colors, so, and we have some ramp pieces. I think it's going to be fine. Famous last words. Okay, so now here, Omen Path Journey could help us ramp, but it's a little slow. We could just take Abrade as an all-right removal spell, and also has some artifact hate, so I don't hate that. Held to Pay, you can kill something and get treasures, I guess. Perforos's Intervention is versatile, but it's a little small ball. I mean, it could be good. but I think taking a braid maybe for the sideboard makes a little bit more sense here. Okay, here we probably just take a prismatic vista, just again more fixing, more better, right? Very scientific. And then insidious fungus is another piece of artifact hate, but we already have quite a bit. We have the Coglin Yadaro, we have the Abrade, and I guess that's it, but you know, pretty solid. Brawlios. So basically it's a 5-mana 5/5 sort of, but when it attacks you draw a card and put a land in, then you just get to, it basically has the Bonnie Paul text, which is pretty powerful. We're just going to take the Prismatic Vista though and see what wheels from that pack. Okay, so there's Winota, but this is a fixed version, like an alchemized version, so it only triggers once, not for each non-human. So I just want to get that out of the way. There's Hugs, which could just be a 4-mana 5/5 trample, or you impulse draw cards and you can play additional lands. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be what I take here. There's also Loot, but I am not convinced we need that. There's also Ether Spark. I'm just going to take Hugs. Hugs seems cool. Okay, now there's nothing. Well, what do we have? I can take Relic of Legends, I guess, as a little bit more, as another ramp piece. I'm not too convinced we need to do that. I think I'm going to cut the Stormscale Scion, actually. This doesn't seem like we're going to be storming very easily. And then how many artifacts do I actually have? Alright, anyway. There's Sabsunin, very strong, and we have Aspara's headquarters. So we could theoretically just play it. Was Curse Recording? Oh, this is for instants and sorceries. I guess we take Sabsunin. I'm not really sure if we play it. Okay, we wield the Ornithopter of Paradise, so I think I am interested in that. There's also Cultivator's Caravan for more ramp, but I think Ornithopter's Paradise is totally fine. Fountain Port Bell, if we did want to splash another color, I guess. So we'll take that. And then we wield the Galta. I think that's fine. You could also take Make Your Own Luck and splash that, but I think Galta is actually going to be pretty good here. It's also another dinosaur for, we have that going for us. I'll take one of these red removal spells, and maybe the Perforos' Intervention. It's a little bit more versatile, and then we can bring that in certain matchups. Krenko, you can make a lot of bodies for Perforos. That actually seems good. Hullbreaker Horror, this thing's crazy. Not for us though. And Archmage Runes. All right. Okay, seems pretty good. So let's see where we want to make. We only have to make a few cuts though, so that's not too bad. Twin Flame Tyrant seems good. I like Burn Down the House. I like all the 5s. I mean, they're all 5s, but all right. I think we can just go ahead and cut. I do like a Tali on the top end. This is more like hopefully a 4-drop sort of. Kogla's really good. I like a Tali. I want to keep a Tali, and then you can just hit some like nasty busted things very easily. So I think we can go ahead and get rid of the. I think Atsushi leaves a little to be desired. Like, it's okay. It's just whatever. And then Karn. Karn's good as a card advantage-ish, but we don't have many artifacts. And yeah, I just think we can do a little bit better. Okay, so we need one more cut. Hugs is kind of like, well, it could be a 4-drop, but it's probably more like here, sort of. Something like that. So the curve of the deck actually does not look that bad, all things considered. So let's see. What do we want to get rid of here? We don't have that much removal, so I think the Mizium Mortars is pretty essential just to kill stuff. And then also, it's like a 6-mana kill their board, like almost, right? Sort of. So what do we want to get rid of? You could get rid of Atali, but this is the kind of thing that really pulls you back into the game. As far as ramp is concerned, we have the Tender Wild Guide, Ornithopter Paradise, Bramble Familiar, so that's quite a lot. So and the Land War Visionary. Collective Defiance, I think, is pretty good. I do like all the 3s. Perforos is really going to pop off in this deck, I think. It feels like we're doing quite a lot as far as the, you know, creatures entering is concerned. I feel like I'm supposed to cut one of these 5-drops, but I think they're all pretty strong. Maybe it's Roxanne since we're not splashing. Escape to the Wilds is a pretty nice card to just get back into the game. We have a lot of creatures. We should definitely cut like a creature. So Roxanne does ramp us quite a bit, but we don't need to ramp too much, and we don't need to fix too much. And then our other 5-drops seem a little bit more impactful. Like the board wipe could be nice. Twin Flame Tyrant doubling our damage out of nowhere, and then your your Galta attacks for 24 trample or something. Railway Brawler has very explosive. I think it is Roxanne actually. Feels kind of weird, and I'm not like entirely convinced that's correct. So, I mean, Cranko, I don't know. The Professional Facebreaker and Lannery Storm and Cranko. I mean, it could also be one of these potentially, but I'm feeling like we can almost lean a little bit more aggressive, but have an out to, you know, flood mitigation, and you can play like a Kogla or Antali, and you just go kind of nuts. And yeah, I'm not used to cutting Roxanne, but it feels right in this deck. So yeah, I think we just want to hit our land drops, play a bunch of creatures, smack our opponent. That sounds fine to me. See you for the games. All right, we're on the play against Humble Potato, the Collector, and we will, of course, be on the play. Wow, this hand has a lot of cool spells, but no lands. This hand, sounds pretty good. So we'll go ahead and keep, and then, am I going to draw another land, is the question. Like, how much can I risk putting a mountain back? Because I can't get rid of this or Mizium. I think I am going to risk it. I only really need one land to get going. Being on the play kind of stinks, too. Kogla and Yadaro. It could also be Kogla and Yadaro. I'm going to risk it. If we have a couple of turns to draw any land, and then, okay, that was not a land. We can go Ornithopter or Paradise, though. Now, next turn, I mean, if we don't draw a land, we could just Mizium Mortar something. That is something I want to Mizium Mortars. That's totally fine. Uh-oh, that's a game loss. No, it's okay. Everything's fine. We're just going to not attack. We could have attacked for 0 to send... Sometimes you have to send a message to your opponent. Sometimes you just have to send the message. But not in this case. They probably have hasty things. I don't know. Oh, that's 100% a game loss. If we don't draw a land... Oh, well, we drew the land. So, I think everything's good. I think I was 100% supposed to get rid of the Kogla and Yadaro. That was a complete mistake. Okay, we drew a playable magic card, which that is a strategy that I'm liking to implement right now. Oh, I just walked right into this Wandering Emperor. So now, unfortunately, our resource collector is going to die. But, you know, we draw any land, and we're okay. We draw any land, and we play red cap. That is a playable magic card. Okay, we're doing it. We are doing it. So if I draw a land, I can go Twin Flame Tyrant, Overlord of the Boiler Villages. Okay, I need a land right this very second, or I lose the game. Nice. All right, let's put it on red, and then play out the... we'll play out the Gutter Dweller right now, just to help out. And then we can always save the Kogla and Yadaro for later. Caretaker's Talent. Oh boy, that's a little scary. Oh, now they're going to put the counter on this so it gets first strike and I can't block, and then they're going to draw a card, and ooh, opponent's deck is very, very good. But is our deck good too? Well, yeah, but we're just not drawing the lands. Okay, so yeah, let's sacrifice, maybe get another... Okay, we have drawn another land. Draconautics Engineer. Draconautics Engineer is pretty good. So now what? I mean, we always play the Forsaken Crossroads, right? And then we can have it scry. Let's see. If I attack down the if I could attempt to attack down the Wandering Emperor, but they probably just double block. But if they double block, that's actually not bad. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll go combat, and then we'll attack Wandering Emperor first. Yeah, they just double block, and that's totally reasonable for me. So I lose my guy, but then I get to play this, and then I think I'm going to hold up the Kogla and Yadaro here, rather than play out the Twin Flame Tyrant. Although the Twin Flame Tyrant, just getting it down now, let me think. They're going to make a token, and then they're going to draw a card. The play patterns. We could just like kill the Caretaker's Talent, but then at the same time, I want to kill this Overlord of the Boiler Villages eventually. There's a lot of stuff to consider here, which is unfortunate. I think we're just going to play this on a green, I guess. And then we're going to scry. I do want more lands, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So are we playing Kogla and Yadaro or not? That's the question. We could use that to fight the Overlord. So I actually think we keep this on top, play out the Draconautics Engineer, and then we pass. So now next turn, they get to make a little token guy, draw a card. They're shocking. It's not great. They have 7 mana available. Okay, they're going to make 2/2, draw a card. They have their own Perforos. Okay, so that's not great either. Okay, I'm going to impend that. Okay, so this can become a thing eventually. So let's go to our turn, draw a card. So now we can... I like getting the Twin Flame Tyrant down, hasting it out, and then we can like effectively kill the Wandering Emperor. How much damage can they do on the following turn? This thing can animate. It becomes a 2/2. You put a counter on a creature. So, I don't know. I don't think I get too punished. Let's go Twin Flame Tyrant here. Haste. Go to combat. This can attack them. These can attack Wandering Emperor to try to kill it. This doesn't really do... Well, I guess what they can do is they can now block with the Samurai and kill the Draconautics Engineer with the Perforos. Seems like that's what they're electing to do here. I think that's okay. Wandering Emperor is down. Twin Flame Tyrant active. Kogla can now just hit like a truck. Overlord of the Mistmoors. That is completely horrifying. And now this Overlord of the Boiler Villages is also going to be active. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, they make a token copy of their 2/1. Deal more damage to me. Yeah, I think this game is a little insurmountable. But we're going to try, obviously. So I'm effectively holding back both of the Overlords with the Kogla, which is nice. So let's play out Kogla. And then I think I want it to fight. Let's see. Unfortunately, they can just triple block the Twin Flame Tyrant. I also have to realize that this Perforos is able to just do... It's really poor. I think I am effectively dead if I... What happens if we fight the Overlord and then we pass? Overlord of the Mistmoors. So they attack. I go to effective 5. These things hit me for 4, And then, yeah, so that's death. So we cannot do that. I believe we are supposed to... It's trample and haste. Give it trample and haste. It's essentially 14 coming at them, but then they could just block with Overlord, take not quite enough. I mean, it has to be this. It has to be. Unfortunately, because yeah, if we fight the Overlord of the Mist more, that is death. But maybe they screw up. But clearly they are not. Wow, what? Wait, huh? Wait a minute. Okay. Wait, did they just... They didn't just... Oh, no, never mind. They almost just died. Alright, well, anyway, I mean, that was a surprisingly close game. They almost messed up. Okay, so that was definitely on me for not keeping a reason... Well, for putting the wrong card back, for sure. Like, I was 100% supposed to keep that third land, I think. Because I know this deck is mana hungry, and I got super punished. So, don't be like me. Keep reasonable hands. Mulligan well. So, yeah, those Overlords are really scary. I mean, we're just going to have to run it back and... Well, if we keep a better... I mean, if we had kept a better hand and we had drawn our fourth land on... Our fourth mana source on time, we would have been, like, completely fine. So, I'm not particularly worried. This one's a little sketchy, but like, it's a little bit more stomachable of a two-lander because we get to play a turn 2 mana dork. Perfect. We drew another land, which is good. So let's play out the Tender Wild Guide. Now, next turn, we could go Lannery Storm plus Mizzy Mortars, or we could just... Okay. Little spirited guy. That's fine. Ooh, Prismatic Vista's fine. All right, let's go Lannery Storm. And then I'm going to attack with just the Lannery Storm. And I think I value just making the Wild Guide a little stronger here over pushing for 2 damage now. And then we're ramping Intrepid Adversary. That's fine. That's something that we can kill. Okay. So let's put a counter on this. Go to our turn. Itali. Okay, so there's something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 mana to play with. I could just like attack with Lannery Storm and then slam Itali. That seems pretty good. That seems really good, actually. And they probably don't have a good way to deal with it. Yeah. So let's attack. And they're blocking? That's even better. Wow. All right. Yeah, this is going to turn out great. So now we get I guess a forest. We have a lot of red cards in our hand. Let's just get a mountain. And then, yeah, I see no reason not to slam an Itali here. And then we can also slam the Twin Flame Tyrant next turn. This is great. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. This is so great. Alright, well, I think this game is a lot different than the previous game. That's for sure. I can also play the land, because I get the extra land drop with Escape to the Wilds. I imagine we see the Avatar blow up right here. TBD. Banishing Light. Okay, so they take my Itali. Are they just dead? Alright, they're just going to concede. Okay, so that game was a little bit more convincing. Lannery Storm was great. Good job. So, I mean, Roxanne gets a little bit more interesting if they're just going to play like the 3/1s and stuff, but I know they have the Overlords, so it's not very effective against the Overlords. Burn Down the House is like slightly effective. It doesn't kill Overlord of the Mistmoors, but it does kill Overlord of the Boiler Villages. I think it's good. You curve Perforos into Burn Down the House. That's really strong. You could probably... Maybe Perforos' intervention could be a solid piece of removal. It's flexible, so in the late game you could kill one of the Overlords, and then in the early game you kill like the... What's this card called? The Intrepid Adversary. So I could see that. Maybe just over something a little bit more niche like Hugs, or... We have Collective Defiance. Maybe over Krenko. Maybe Krenko's going to be a little bit more challenging to get in with. Sure, I can see that. Krenko for Perforos' intervention. Get a little bit more resiliency in the removal suite, or, you know, something. Something like that. Okay, game 3 against Humble Potato. And this hand sucks. And this hand also sucks. And this hand's fine. So I think we put back... I think at this point we do actually have to put back a couple lands. Kind of not great, obviously, but, you know, we just have to... We have to get lucky for sure. Okay, Spirit Companion's not too bad. I like Ornithopter. Ooh, okay. Well, we're going to try for the Ornithopter of Paradise. I really hope it doesn't die. We really need to... Loran of the Third Path was probably one of the worst cards we could have seen right there. If I don't draw a land, I lose. It's over. I can kill Loran. It's so bad. So bad. Oh no. This game was effectively over for sure. Mulling to 5 sucks. Like, there's nothing you can do. Winota, that's game loss right there for sure. I need to draw... Oh, okay, they whiffed. All right. Let's think. Oh wait, I just eat the... Never mind. That wasn't that much thinking necessary. Okay, perfect. Needed that land. I needed to kill Winota, I think. So let's get Forest. So this only triggers off of non-humans. So the alternative is to play like Llanowar Visionary. Nah, I don't think so. I think we need to deal 4 damage to this thing. Just kill it outright. And then on the following turn, I mean, we get to go Llanowar Visionary, I guess. Yeah, this is just not a great situation. Now they have their own Lannery Storm. I think they're just trying to get set up. They're trying to get set up for a Overlord of the Mistmoors. I think I'm just going to go ahead and try to stop the Lannery Storm while I can. Okay, another land is fine. Another land is totally reasonable. Let's go ahead and try to just draw and ramp our way out of this. Get a Llanowar Visionary. Okay, we can play this mountain. So I assume they're not going to make us draw cards. Okay, they are. Their hand must be like, I don't know. If they slam an Overlord of the Mistmoors here, it gets very bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is Overlord of the Perforos. Perforos is also a little scary. Okay, they're attacking me with Loran. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could go double 3-drop next turn, which I don't mind. We could also like just block here, and then we could play a Hugs on 1. I guess it probably makes a little... Why did they shock in? They're not just going to pump up Loran, are they? A 5/5 Trampler doesn't do much. It stops the Loran, I guess. I think I'm going to take this. I think we're going to try to go Lannery Storm and Professional Facebreaker, get a lot of lands, and then go from there. Well, they're going to Elite Spellbinder me. Okay. Well, sure. I guess I'm glad I didn't, you know. Okay, they're just going to take Hugs away. So at least that makes the decision a lot easier. This game is horrible. So, Lannery Storm, Professional Facebreaker. This game is really bad. All right. I guess we just do what what we signed up for, I guess. Play Professional Facebreaker, and then I'm going to attack with Lannery Storm, and then they're going to block with Loran, and then we're just going to get smacked to death with an Elite Spellbinder. Yeah. Well, let's see if they make us draw some cards. That is a mountain. So, the way we get out of this... 3, 4, 5, 6. We can still hit Atali off the top. We can still hit Atali. We also could just die. Oh, that is death, right? 6, 7, 8, 9. We live at 1 life. So I don't really know what gets us out of this at the moment. Oh, they're going to get rid of the... Okay, I guess that, yeah, sure. That doesn't really do anything at the moment. So at least they're not going after my face. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Railway Brawler is probably like approximately 6 turns too late. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's already required. Oh gosh. All right, let's play this for 1. And then this has to be the best card ever. All right. Well, we tried. We tried. All good. All right, we're on the play against Colton, and it's a little... I'm going to keep it. It's not a whole lot of action. I will just go ahead and Prismatic Vista, though, to thin the deck a little bit. Let's go ahead and grab a Mountain. Because... Okay, Fountain Port Bell from the opponent. I mean, his hand has a lot of upside for sure. So, I mean, Rada can just draw... Okay, there's a Galta. So, you can see the vision of what we're going to be doing here, right? We're going to go Rada. We're going to hopefully draw a few cards off the top. We're going to go Kogla. And then by then, well, that'll be... Well, that 3 plus 7, that's 10. Galta entering. 2 mana, 12/12. Okay, there's Professional Facebreaker, which is nice. So I think we're going to go ahead and start with that to try to enable a little bit more ramp shenanigans so I can get Kogla down a little bit ahead of schedule. All right, they're going to crack that Fountain Port Bell to draw, which I think that's okay. They can also... No, they're not going to do anything. Okay, let's go to combat, attack for 2. I mean, if they crack their Carrot Cake and then double block, I'm so happy about that. It looks like that's what they're doing. That is not good for them for sure. I mean, I just get to eat both of them. My creature survives. We're going to go Rada. There's going to be a land off the top. Okay, that's not a land. But we get to just have this amazing board presence. And then next turn, I can't haste out the Kogla, but I could smack them, get the treasure. Maybe they played a creature that can't block these, and then I just fight it. Okay, so they need... Wow, that doesn't do anything. Okay, Mizium Mortars. All right, play the land off the top. Let's go to combat, attack, make a treasure. And then I guess actually I'll just go ahead and play the Galta here. Oh, also because this has first strike, the Professional Facebreaker triggers twice, which is nice. So now I just have like a 12/12, which I think is going to do quite a lot of stuff. Mainly attacking my opponent. That's a Selvala. That is not a bad card, but I think they're dead. Let's find out. So if we haste this out, that's a 19 trample damage, so they block 5 of it, and then they take 5. Yeah, they're dead. Great. I'm glad we worked that out. So we'll do this. Give it trample haste, and then smack them. And then they die. Okay, that was a convincing game 1. So moving on then to the next game. I don't think I really want to make any changes. Opponent definitely stumbled there a little bit. Okay. I kind of like this hand, actually. You get to go turn 2 or Herd Heirloom, and then turn 3, Professional Facebreaker, which is fine, but maybe by then we've drawn like a 4-drop or something. Could also just play like a turn 3 Hugs if we really want to. I don't know if it's necessarily what we want. Ooh, there's a Llanowar Visionary. So let's just go ahead and I think thin the deck. And then we might want to play that Jetmir's Garden, or we may want to cycle this later. So I don't think I need to. Ooh, it's Holly. Yeah, let's go Herd Heirloom. And then next turn we could like play one of our 3-drops. Ooh, Kogla. Okay, so now this is fine. So we'll go ahead and Facebreaker or Visionary. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana next turn. I think I like getting the Visionary down. Draw a card. Okay. Play this tap land. Now next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could. Okay, they do nothing. That's. I'm cool with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I kind of just want to. I think it's just gonna be Railway Brawler, honestly. Railway Brawler, attack for 2. Now everything becomes double the power. And we can do stupid things, especially if they whiff on a land drop again. I mean, we can just make this a 6 mana 14/14 Trample Haste, which I think that would be a pretty good card to play against the opponent. We'll see. Opponent might have Board Wipe or removal spell Garruk. Okay, so they can kill Llanowar Visionary, which is not great. Okay, that's not how that works, opponent. That's not how that... Okay. Sometimes you just... Okay. Alright. Well, anyway, we're going to kill our opponent first. But, before that... sometimes you just run into not the best players on these cube drafts. On to the last round. All right, here we are for our last match against Big Mac 00, Dauntless Drafter. I think this hand doesn't quite do enough. Go ahead and send it back. This hand does a lot more exciting things, so we will keep. And I think I put back Kogla and Yodoro here, because Burn Down the House is the kind of card that can get me back from behind. All right, let's get our tap land down. Next turn, we can go ahead and play out the Bramble Familiar. And, okay, opponent also plays a turn 2 play. All right, let's go ahead and get down the Bramble Familiar. And then, okay, they're going to go ahead and start scrying. So when this gets 3 counters on it, transforms, and they make, 3 treasures, so they can kind of ramp them. So, yeah, they could be doing some pretty big, nasty things. That's a Rona. Okay, there's a Llanowar Visionary. So I kind of... 2, 3, 4... Yeah, I kind of like just getting the Llanowar Visionary down, drawing a card, seeing what we hit. Because then it set... Ooh, Perforos. That's kind of cool. Perforos can help to start to ping my opponent down. Oh, Homunculus. Whoa, Homunculus Horde. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, make a copy of it. Well, I've got some bad news for you, buddy. And it starts with Burn, ends with House. Can you figure it out? Too difficult. Was a good combo, though. That's a good combo. Also, it is kind of annoying that if I do burn down the house, it causes me to lose my... Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Lose my board presence. Yeah, that was stupid. I wanted to try to draw a land. Okay. So... Now what? So now the Homunculus Hordes are just going to go kind of insane, which I don't like. And I don't like that I'm going to lose my creatures. So maybe I want to incentivize them to... Wait. Permanent non-food. Wait a minute. So I can just play this. Wait, that's crazy. Yeah, let's do that. Do that. No attacks. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, you could just play your lands back again. That's so cool. This Resourceful Collector is a very strong card for sure. So they're gonna make another couple of Homunculus Hordes for sure. right? I don't see that not happening. So then the question is, can we draw more lands? And then that way our burn down the house gets to get a little bit more value. Yeah, they're gonna draw a discard, make a couple more homunculus hordes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Ooh, midnight clock. All right, that's a little concerning. Let's see if we can do something about that. Huh, Piscium mortars. Oh, that's even better. Wait a minute. Wait, that's so broken. We can just do that now, right? We deal 4 damage to everything. Do I do that now, or do I get greedy? Oh, I can get greedy. All right, let's get a mountain. Man, I kind of want to get greedy. Oh no. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, like, yeah, you know what? The 2/2s on board are not that scary. I'm gonna get a little greedy here. Why would it tap like that? Why would you do this to me? Auto tapper, what are you doing? I wanted to play out a Draconautics Engineer. Oh, so bad. Oh boy. Yeah, the Arena Tapper, it really truly has a mind of its own. Okay, so anyway, opponent's gonna make a ton of homunculus hordes, and that is a little scary. However, we have 2 board wipes in hand. Indris. Okay. So now I kind of want this to die. Mizzium Mortars only deals 4 damage. Okay, they're going to start attacking me. All right, let's kill let's block one of them effectively. Okay. Yeah, I think the burn down the house is going to be a little bit more important here, just to make sure that the Indris dies. Mizzium mortars. Yeah. No. I think it's just burn down the house. Deal 5. Deal 5 to everything. Say goodbye to Indris. Say goodbye to all of the tokens. And then, unfortunately, you have to pass after that. But we have a good follow-up. If we draw a land next turn, we can go Twin Flame... Ooh, Ral Crackling Wit. That's pretty good. Now they're going to make a couple of bodies. Or, not bodies. They're going to make a bunch of treasures, turn this into a thing. So, but if we draw a land this turn... we can play Twin Flame Tyrant. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and Twin Flame Tyrant, which is going to make the Perforos deal 4 damage to the opponent. Now, next turn, we can go Red Cap Gutter Dweller, make 3 bodies. Each of them deals 4 damage. So we have lethal next turn, assuming the opponent does not, interact with me. Okay, the opponent is interacting with me a little bit, like sort of. But we're still okay, actually. We're still okay so far. I mean, I am at 12. Anything can happen. Hell to Pay. That's pretty good. So they get to kill that. Yeah, now I'm getting smacked for 4. Now they have lethal on me. Oh no, I don't like that. So unfortunately, this Mizzium Mortars cannot kill their Twin Flame Tyrant. Ornithopter of the Paradise. I think I might be forced to play that as a blocker for the Twin Flame Tyrant. Could also go Captain Lannery Storm. Yeah, I think this is the way to do it. I think we go Ornithopter of Paradise, and then we'll play out the Lannery Storm. And then, unfortunately, just going to have to pass the turn. We die to any removal spell, which it seems pretty likely they're going to find one with the Treasure Cove. And also, this Midnight Clock is really, really close to just drawing them a new hand, basically. Darn, we were really close there for sure. Definitely got a little weird there with the mana sequencing and whatnot. Oh, and then can't they just like draw a bunch of... Yeah, no? Well, they can draw a bunch of cards. What are they doing? Oh, are they dealing... Oh, they're dealing 8 to me. Okay, cool. No, that's fun. All good. Let's dial it back. Let's dial it in. And let's get this... Let's get the honorable 2-1. We can salvage. We can salvage that horrible first match. and get the 2-1 here. Okay, hand looks reasonable, so we'll go ahead and keep this. I do want to try to draw a couple more lands, specifically mountains, so I think I'm going to hold off on the Prismatic Vista. I think I'm still going to hold off on the Prismatic Vista, although now it's a little less important because the Captain Lannery Storm ramps me. Ooh, Forsaken Crossroads. So, yeah. So this will I'm the starting player, right? So this will always enter tapped. That's fine. So let's go fetch a red, and then let's start with the Lannery Storm. I think just to get a little bit of the ramp going, gives us more options for future turns. So next turn we'll have 4, potentially 5 mana. We could Rada. We could... There's a lot of stuff we can do for sure. Okay, Chrome Host Seed Shark. That is a little annoying. That's a little annoying. Let's see what we can do here. Itali. Okay. Itali's kind of interesting. So, let's see. Lannery Storm. I could attack and effectively, trade with the shark, but then I lose my mana sources. I think we're going to try to Rada here. Try to draw a land off the top. We did not. Okay, let's name red. And then I don't think I want this. There's a land. Okay. Now, I think we just don't attack. Next turn, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so we'll have a guaranteed land next turn. So that's 5, 6, 7 mana if we attack with the Lannery Storm. Alright, here comes the Glacial thingy. Glacial Dragon Hunt. So I imagine they're going to kill... Actually, don't know which one. Ooh, discarding Magma Opus. That's probably a bad sign. Okay, here... Okay, Rada down. Rada down, that's fine. Okay, they're going to attack me. I'm okay with that. Oh, they're probably going to... Okay. So, I'm going to go to combat. I think they're just going to animate the thingy, the incubator. And if they do that, I just get to slam at Tali for free? With no risk? Seems good to me. Saiba Siphoner. Oh, I see. So so that tells me that they have no instants or sorceries in hand, which is, nice. Okay, Saiba Siphoner, and I imagine they get back the Magma Opus? Oh, they're getting back the Glacial Dragon Hunt. Sure. That's totally fine. They're going to block. I mean, seems as good a time now as any to just slam a Tali here. Alright. Get a couple of cards off the top. What do we hit? Good cards. Ooh, Twin Flame Tyrant and Key to the Archive. Oh, great hits. Great hits. Alright, that probably seals the deal. Approach? Lightning Helix? Demonic Tutor? These are great cards. What's the thing that will get me, assure my victory, right? What can I get from the deck with Demonic Tutor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, I'll admit, I probably tanked on that a little too hard. But, you gotta be careful with this stuff. You gotta be careful. So now they know they have that, the Abrade gets a little bit more interesting. Chrome Host Seed Shark, I don't have too much that helps me with that. Abrade killing the Key to the Archive does seem kind of important. So, yeah, let's go ahead and... Well, we have Kogla to help with that too. Maybe Cranko. We could just take out Cranko, put in a Braid, I think. I think that's fine. All right, here we go. Game 3 for the honorable 2-1. Can we do it? Maybe. Maybe. Well, hand looks fine. Looks pretty good. We get to go turn 2 Mana Dork, turn 3 Perforos, turn 4 Escape. And then by then, more things will have happened. Seems like a good spot. Okay, opponent mulled to 6. Twin Flame Tyrant's fine. Okay. We're looking good. All right, let's see if they have... Oh, nope. This one. Let's see if they have removal. No removal. No Abrade. Maybe Sorcery Speed. It could just be Chromatic Seed Shark. In which case I get to resolve a Perforos. Looks like they're hovering over it. Okay, they are killing it. At least they don't get any treasures. Ooh, Land Storm was a great draw. Nice. So now I just get to, like, attack freely, pass the turn, and then next turn, I mean, I hope I draw a land. Ooh, nice. Okay, so let's attack first. Make treasure. Enduring Curiosity. Okay, it's a little annoying. I think I definitely want to crack one of these because I want to trade with the Curiosity. I do not want it to survive. Unfortunately, I lose my mana source. I think I'm going to go for the Perforos here. So we're going to play this on green, get the Perforos down while we can, because our hand is pretty well set up, and we got Twin Flame Tyrant to double the triggers. We got Burn Down the House. Archmage of Runes, that's scary. So their stuff costs 1 less to cast, and then when they draw instants and sorceries, when they cast instants and sorceries, they draw, which I don't like. But here, I think I like let's just slam the Twin Flame Tyrant, deal 4 damage to the opponent, and now they're gonna need something to answer the Twin Flame Tyrant. This does not have, like, prowess, right? Okay, that's just a treasure map. So they don't currently have good attacks. If they attack, yeah, just eats it. So they're going to need something a little better. They only have 1 card in hand? I think they're just dead, actually. Ooh, Collective Defiance. Collective Defiance, you say. So if I burn down the house, I deal 2, 4, 6 damage, and then attack for 6. So that's not quite lethal. So we could be a little bit more careful. So we can deal, like, 6 damage to them, 4 damage to 8 damage to this. I like that. Let's do that. So 4 damage to target creature, really 8, and then 3 damage to target opponent or planeswalker, really 6. So we'll target here, and then hopefully this resolves. Hopefully no counter spell. Awesome. All right, that did it. And then we would have attacked, and then we put the Tender Wild guy, and we win. Okay. All right. Deck was pretty cool. I definitely, could have played a little better, had some better mulligan decisions in that first game, but you know what? We got the honorable 2-1, and that is fine. I am totally happy with that. Let's take a quick look at the deck. Yeah, just solid red-green, playing big boys, a little bit of ramp, a little bit of interaction, a little bit of treasure makers, slamming a Tali or a Kogla, win game, question mark. We did that 66% of the time. So, yeah, overall, I think this deck was pretty solid. Thank you for watching.